You've got your man, Paul Thompson. You've already said he's an outstanding. I believe you were quoted as saying he's a man amongst men. I mean, in terms of his future here, he's going to be perhaps the mainstay of your defence. Is that fair to say?
Well, yeah. I mean, he's a leader. You know, you look at his track record; it's excellent. The level that he's played at. You know, and you know, just as a person, you can just tell he's an absolute winner. So. Yeah, you know, he's got to earn his right to get in the side, like everyone else. But I'm sure we've signed an excellent player.
By bringing such a high-profile player, a player who could easily play in League One still this season, do you feel that Mansfield Town have finally given the rest of the conference a statement of intent on how serious this club is about mounting a serious challenge for promotion this year?
I don't think one signing makes a statement. I just think it you have to pay good money for good players.
Any other big signings on the horizon? I imagine your quest for a big, high-profile striker is still ongoing.
We're looking for a striker. Yeah, we're in the market for a striker. We've got our irons in the fires, like I say, with once again about 3 or 4 of them. And it's like the John Thompson saga in terms of sometimes you have to be patient. But we're hopeful to get one. There might be one coming in to tomorrow night's game for us to have a good look at. But like I say, we're talking to 3 or 4 at the minute.
How do you feel your options up front are shaping up? Paul Connor looked very good on Friday night. Ross Dyer as well, he came onto the pitch. But you pushed Lyndon Mikel up front as well. Do you see him playing a rather central role this year?
Yeah, I mean, if you saw how we set up at the beginning of the game, you know, we played Louis Briscoe down the middle and Lyndon on the right. You know, that's what I've said in pre-season. That's what these games are all about. It's about learning about your players' strengths and weaknesses. After 15 minutes, we swapped it around, and I thought Lyndon was if I'm honest, he was excellent as a centre forward. You know, having had him since he's been 16, I think that's his best position. But we need competition for places. I thought Paul Connor was excellent. You know, I thought his second goal wasn't offside. He tells me we weren't offside. Chuck it excellent as well. But like I say, we need competition for place in you know, in those areas, and bringing another one into the squad, a lad with a bit of experience at this level, somebody that can more or less guarantee you goals at this level. For us to be challenging up there, we need these kind of players.
And what about the Briscoe experiment? Personally, myself, I'm unconvinced at the moment. Where do you sit with him?
It's early days, you know. I'm not wanting to shut door on people or say this or that over one game. You know, Brisbane. We've got to realise that the people we played against, you know, are going to be up there higher echoes of League One. You know, and sometimes you can make decisions very quickly on just a spur of a moment over one game. Louis Briscoe is going to score goals next season, whether he plays out wide, whether he plays down the middle. You know, my job is to put, you know, people in their best positions where we're going to get the best out of them. If that means Louis Briscoe plays out on the wing, then brilliant. You know, if he's scoring goals from there, excellent. But if he plays down the middle and he's scoring goals, you know, as long as it's for the good of the team, I don't mind.
You had a number of trialists on show on Friday night. Any potential news on them, whether you're going to bring any of those into your squad?
Well, Alan Goodall I thought did excellent first half. He's training this morning, and we'll be playing tomorrow night. We'd hoped, you know, if he comes through the game tomorrow night, you know, we could be looking at trying to get him on board. The rest of them, you know, we won't be pursuing. You know, we brought John Thompson in. I thought Steve Watt did well, if I'm honest, but obviously with us bringing John Thompson in, it doesn't leave any room back there. So Alan Goodall, like I say, will be coming in. Hopefully he'll have another decent game for us, and you know, hopefully he'll be a good addition to the squad if he comes through tomorrow night.
Am I right in thinking now that the remaining pre-season friendly games that you've got, and there's still quite a fair few on the calendar, these are now about, shall we say, getting the team together, the team that will start the season, and put in, shall we say, some of the finishing work together?
Yeah, I think what we've got to remember as well is that Paul Boland hasn't kicked a ball yet, Rhys Dare's not kicked a ball yet, and if you add those two players to a squad, it really does create competition. I think getting tomorrow night out of the way, building to the Halifax game and from beyond, I think that's when I really want to see a sort of 11 forming, you know, and putting it together. You know, we brought John Thompson in tomorrow night into a back four. I think it's very important that the back four start and get a nice set of balance and an understanding between them. But in general, I'd like the team to start gelling, probably from Halifax on Saturday onwards.
Doncaster, they're a championship side. You took on a local League One side obviously on Friday, a championship side. They will probably, no doubt, represent a bigger test.
It's a massive test, yeah. You know, if you think about Notts County, probably had 60% possession the other night. You know, I would have thought the percentage rate's going to go up with Doncaster. You know, very good side, love to pass the ball. There's going to be long periods of the game where I think we're not going to be seeing the ball. It'll be a different kind of fitness for us from the two other games we've played. But it'll be another good test. You know, I want to see how lads react under severe pressure, and I think tomorrow night, you know, it's going to be probably our toughest game in pre-season, if I'm honest. So you know, but it's going to be a good test. It's going to test our mentality and our resolve.
If I can just finish this morning with a word on Adam Murray. He played in the centre of midfield on Friday. He was also the captain. The passion was there from Adam as always when he takes the field here at Field Mill. He is the captain at the moment. You've said that in your press clippings on Friday evening. John Thompson, hot favourite though to take over the armband. You're going to have to prise it out of Adam's hands, aren't you?
I think so. I've been very impressed with Adam from the first day of pre-season. You know, Adam's come in. He's not said a lot, but what he's done on the training field and his performances in games have warranted him keeping the armband. You know, we all know what he can do as a player. You know, he can pass the ball, but you know, his attitude and his work ethic has been, not just in the games but in training, has been immense. John's come in, and I know that there's been a lot of talk about John. What I don't want to do initially is put too much of a burden on John. I want John to come in, get himself fit, get himself strong, and start enjoying his football without actually, you know, putting too much on his shoulders at the minute. So I think there's a long way to go in football in terms to the beginning of the season, and a lot can happen in that. So I think in terms of the captaincy, I'll make that. It might be on the Thursday night before the first game on the Saturday, you know. But whoever it is, I think we'll have earned it throughout the pre-season.
Is John Thompson going to be fit enough to play some part tomorrow then?
Yeah, training this morning. If I'm honest, he played 2 games out at Portland. You know, when he was out there, it's not as if he's coming to us. I mean, if you've seen him, there's not an ounce of fat on him. You know, he's a proper professional, as I call it. You know, he keeps himself ticking over. He just might need a bit like Martin Riley was the other night. You know, Martin Riley not done a lot, not played any games.
Yeah.
But you can tell that the lad looks after his body. I think John will be the same. You know, he's just about making sure we don't push them too hard.
Yeah.
You know, I think the last thing that probably John needs at the minute is he's probably going into an intense 90 minutes, where things can break down all of a sudden. So we've got to be clever with him and Martin. You know, just to make sure we don't start the season with another injured centre half.
Yeah. What's the word on Tom Naylor? Is he?
Well, I mean, it was from the injury. I got told it was 2 weeks. So hopefully, you know, we're looking hopefully between the sort of now 4 and 7 days when he can start back. You know, it's important that we start the season with a fully fit squad, and with Rhys Day being pencilled in for the Ilkeston game. That is quite a nice little headache to have when everybody's fit, because we know what Rhys can do, we know what Tom can do, as well as the personnel that we've already got back there.
Yeah. And Paul Bolland, is he?
Paul, I think will be sort of penciled in for the Halifax game.
Yeah.
Obviously, his shoulder. I mean, Paul's done everything in training.
Yeah.
Probably some of the actual contact sessions. I think it's been really hard for Paul because he's quite a competitive sort of lad, and he wanted to get involved. But we've got to be really, really clever with him. You know, but knowing Paul as I do, you know, he's a really good, honest professional. In terms of fitness, it'd just be his match time he needs to catch up with.
Yeah.